So we've talked about Auckland and Christchurch. Do you think Wellington has any unique challenges in this regard?
I think Wellington has, lots of unique issues. The geography really defines this city, and it has a very unique, challenging geography in terms of providing urban services or managing transit or traffic and all that. So even in a normal situation, Wellington has physical challenges to providing urban services for a larger city. But if you add on top of that, the potential for earthquakes, we all know that Wellington is the city that everybody is watching in terms of a major seismic event. Christchurch was the anomaly, a very big one, of course, but Wellington is where we really expect a big one to hit sometime, probably within our lifetimes, and that will create a lot of major challenges for the city in terms of how it responds to that. Sea level change due to climate change, or sea level rise due to climate change, could be another big issue that the city faces.
I've found that New Zealanders are often very community-oriented. I know here in Wellington we have a number of environmental groups, community gardening groups, and other grassroots efforts that are taking place around the city. How important is it to incorporate those existing networks and coordinate them into a living city plan?
Well, first off, I would say that it's still very early days for the whole concept of a living city. This is something that there are similar pursuits that people have had with eco-district design or certainly sustainable city plans, but the living city notion is something that's slightly different because it relates to a particular learning system, the Living Building Challenge, and it's trying to take that notion of ultra-green building to a higher level. Having said that, I would also say that the phenomenon of grassroots responses to creating a more sustainable city, whether it's urban gardens or local transportation initiatives or whatnot, is a very important part of any city responding to the change that's coming down the pike. And I'm encouraged and enthused about these local initiatives that are happening in Wellington. It's really good. At the same time, it's really important for the larger city, and indeed the Wellington region, the district, to be thinking about how it can organize and become a more sustainable city at that level as well too. So you've got two levels of initiatives, possibly even three levels, happening at the same time, and it's very important that they all be coordinated. One doesn't want to replace the grassroots bottom-up efforts that are happening, because they're very important. It's like we have a series of experiments happening. Just say, for example, with community gardens, they might be done differently in different ways. You can learn from all those experiences and take the best of those experiences and create something that can be replicated in other cities. So you continue to want to have that grassroots effort. At the same time, you want to connect it with what's happening at a city level or a regional level so that there's more coordination. Because ultimately, I think all cities are going to be addressing the same challenges as we move into a very uncertain future. And it's going to be incumbent upon cities acting at the municipal level and even the regional level in order to respond to those challenges. Regionally, in terms of basic utilities, supply of water, what we do with our waste, how we manage growth for a larger region, how our transit systems are developed. Those are things that can be dealt with much better at a regional level. Municipally, there are things that can be certainly coordinated at the council level, and particularly with Wellington City Council being at the heart of the region. And then there are those things that can happen best at a community or a neighborhood level, and oftentimes are really more grassroots and voluntary. All of these responses, I think, are going to be necessary for the change that's coming down the pike, and I wouldn't want to have any one of those elements not part of the mix.